afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Mayday Network. I am Michelle Kinney. I'm here with the one and only Julie Roginski.
Hi,
Uh,
everybody.
hello. It's nice to see everyone. It's been a few days. And today, July 14th, is Bastille Day. So I don't know exactly how one says it in France. I don't think they wish people a happy Bastille Day, but whatever that is,
Joyeux. It
what?
is a
Oh,
joyous
it is.
Bastille Day.
Oh, a joyous,
Joyeux,
joyous
joyeux jour de Bastille.
Joyous Bastille Day to all. And in that spirit, I just want to play a clip. We've played it on our shows before. I just happened to be watching it last night with my husband to the laundry. And in honor of our French brethren in the fight for democracy, I just want to play this.
Marseillaise. Played.
It's always a good time.
So, Michelle, you can see I have the Statue of Liberty behind me, which, of course, was given to us by the French about a century after their revolution and ours, a little bit longer. The Bastille. That is the best scene out of any movie ever. Nothing will ever top
and it's
that.
always a good time to play it.
Yeah, nothing will ever top it. It's a very bloody anthem. I don't know if you know that. It's basically telling people to cut the throats of people who don't agree with you. It's a call to arms. Aux armes citoyennes is, to armed citizens. The bloody standard is raised and against us tyranny. I mean, let's go for the first two wonderful lyrics, which I think is the most important ones. I don't know what's going on with my mic here. I don't know if you could hear me.
But I didn't know if you're on StreamYard, if it was connected or not.
Yeah.
Just sounded a little not. But
should be.
Yeah.
Check
the thing.
But
tell us about the lyrics. Tell us about
the lyrics are very, very bloody. But I will also say that the first couple lines are good and applicable to what's going on now. And those lyrics are basically, let's go, child of the homeland. The glory day has arrived. Against this tyranny, the bloody standard is raised. I mean, I don't want to talk about bloody standard because that's a little bit of a call to violence. But we do need to raise a standard against tyranny, my friend, because it is upon us. And it's getting worse by the day. And that's what I think we're here to talk about. Donald Trump's whack-a-doodle, crazy train speech that he's going to give on Thursday. And, you and I had this little bit of a conversation yesterday over text where you're like, oh my God, this is awful. And you're so right. It is awful as to what's going on. But I think what he's been doing kind of under the radar is so awful that we should talk about it, because it's all like, this is as the French would say, the denouement. This is the end stage. Yeah, this is the end stage of what he's been working on since the beginning. And I actually wrote a Substack about this. And so, of course, I paywall it. But if you listen to the Mayday Network, you get it for free. And I will tell you what he's been done. what he's been doing to get us to this point, because it's scary and it's not. It's much more than just him bitching about, the election was stolen and going down to
It's not
Georgia.
fair.
And going down to Georgia and seizing ballots, which he's not going to say on Thursday, of course, were fraudulent. But of course, he has the ballots, so nobody can prove that they were. First of all, I want to set the scene here.
Mm-hmm.
This address comes as Trump is down 2 senators. Right? Like Lindsey Graham is dead. Is my mic on? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Lindsey Graham is dead. And Mitch McConnell may or may not be dead. The point is he's not around.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got people like Tom Tillis and John Cornyn, who he worked against, and they lost their primaries. And then you've got people, or Tillis just decided not to run. And then you've got people like Susan Collins, who've got tough races. And you've got people, you've got all sorts of senators who are not necessarily falling in line with his bullshit, right?
Right.
So what better way to take a few Democrats off the board prior to the election than to say that their elections were fraudulent? And of course, he's going to point to what happened in November of 2020 and then the runoff in January of 2021 in Georgia between Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. Not between, but you remember Warnock and Ossoff ran the first time at the same time because Ossoff was running for a full 6-year term.
Mm-hmm.
And Warnock was running to fill the remainder of Johnny Isaacsen's seat, who had resigned. And then Trump, the Republicans appointed a caretaker to that seat who ran, and Warnock beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this is what I want people to just understand before they start freaking out. There's a freaking out part of this conversation, which we'll get to in a minute, but the part that you shouldn't be freaking out about. Even if John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock were found to have fraudulently gotten elected, you could indict them if they were part of the fraud. And I don't know if he's going to go so far as to say that they were part of the fraud, but let's say somebody else committed the fraud for them, right? Which of course did not happen. That's just Trump's fantasy that's in his crazy addled brain. But let's pause it for a second that we all live in a bizarro world. And this is true. The only people that could remove both Warnock and Ossoff from their seats is 3/5 of the United States Senate.
Right.
Not half, 3/5.
Right.
That's a lot of senators. It's a lot of Democratic senators. So, dream on, Donald Trump. That's not going to happen. And of course, if there's anybody who actually did try to steal an election in 2020 in Georgia, it was Donald Trump, because he told, if you remember, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, just days before the January 6th insurrection, I believe it was January 2nd, 2021.
Yeah. Another perfect call. Quote, I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have because we won the state. So, but it gets better, because he's not alleging, I don't think, that there was a fraudulent, he's talking about 2020. Warnock got elected for his current term in 2022. So he's in, right? Like, you're not going to allege in 20, even somehow if he fraudulently got elected the first time, he got elected not fraudulently. Well, and I just want to say one thing, because Nicole Wallace mentioned this on her show. I watched the clip after the fact. She makes a very good point. She's like, so let me get this straight. When the elections were being overseen by the Obama administration, everything went fine because Donald Trump won in 2016 and yada, yada, yada. But then in 2020, when Donald Trump was overseeing the elections, things were bad because he lost. But then again, when Joe Biden was overseeing the elections, it must have been effed up. This logic does not make any sense from his perspective. Like, so he's saying that the one time that there was election fraud was when he was in power. Like, this is like the Republicans in the Senate and the Republicans in the House and the Republicans literally controlling every branch of government, complaining that the Democrats are in their way or trying to, like, get in their way to get things done. And I'm like, my friends, y'all are in power. Like, why are you blaming other people? Yeah. This doesn't make any sense. Not that I'm expecting it to, but it's just, people just report this like, oh yeah, he says this. Like, okay.
First of all, let's start with the premise that he's going to lie on Thursday. And so the network should not take him live.
Right.
They should not take him live. They should.
will. Yeah.
They will. But they should take him. I mean, he's obviously the president of the United States, but rather than take him live, they should first annotate with chyrons underneath and then air it, right? Like that's what I would do if I were in their shoes. Barry Weiss is not going to do that at CBS, ABC. I don't know. Disney's too scared now. I don't know what's going on with Comcast with NBC, but they're basically a Republican company, Comcast. But the truth of the matter is, they should not be taking this live.
Yeah.
But here's what he's already done. This is what Donald Trump has already done. On election integrity. He's going to say that our elections are stolen and they're fraudulent. Here's what he's done cynically since returning to the White House. He has systematically, friends, weakened the very federal defenses created to detect and combat foreign interference in American elections. And that is after there was a report in 2021 by the intelligence community saying that Iran attempted to intervene to influence the 2020, not to steal votes. I think this is really critical here because he's going to allege that votes were stolen. That's not true. Not to steal votes, but an influence campaign to defeat Trump at the same time that Russia was working overtime again to elect Trump, right? So you've got Russia and you've got Iran working in different ways to do that. Venezuela did not. We'll get to that in a minute. But if you believe, if Donald Trump does, that there is election interference, here's what you don't do. On day one, on her first day in office, Pam Bondi ordered the FBI's Foreign Influence Task Force to disband.
Yep.
That task force was established after Russia's 2016 attack on our elections to identify and disrupt covert operations by Russia, China, Iran, and other foreign adversaries. Apparently, China wanted to intervene in the election, wanted to play in the 2020 election, and decided the juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Pete Hegseth had something to do with this, with the cybersecurity as it pertains to Russia, right? So like any cybersecurity walls that we had up in place have been completely taken away on the defense. So
yeah,
we're basically giving free rein to the Russians. Not that they couldn't anyways, but it seems a whole lot easier.
Yeah, and look, Bondi's directive also narrowed the circumstances in which prosecutors could bring cases under FARA, under the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Then his Department of Homeland Security, Tulsi Gabbard, Russian useful idiot or Russian active agent, you make the call, simultaneously began hollowing out the election security work of the Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency. It's called CISA. And, we should probably have our friend Nina Jankowicz on this because she'd known better than anybody else. But employees who worked on misinformation, disinformation, and foreign influence threats were placed on administrative leave or removed. And CISA itself paused election security activities on which state and local officials had come to rely. It also ended federal funding for the Election Infrastructure Information Sharing Analysis Center, which allowed election administrators around the country to exchange warnings about cyber attacks, physical threats, and vulnerabilities in voting infrastructure. I mean, think about that. Think about the fact that it used to be that somebody who saw something in, I don't know, California could call somebody in Georgia and say, hey, somebody's trying to get into our systems here. There's no centralized federal way to do that now.
Right.
And again, that had been created under Trump's first term in response to Russia's 2016 interference. And then, of course, in 2025, Secretary of State Marco Rubio possibly, I see more craven than J.D. Vance. It's hard to say because they both know better. But
yeah, I mean, I have theories and thoughts about that. But
but he closed the State Department's Counter Foreign Information Manipulation and Interference Office, which is a successor to the Global Engagement Center, which used to monitor and expose propaganda and disinformation campaigns conducted by hostile foreign powers. That is what Nina Jankowicz used to do.
Yeah.
Not at the State Department of Homeland Security, but similar. Because Rubio said this was like some sort of domestic censorship operation, even though its mandate included tracking Russian, Chinese, and Iranian influence campaigns abroad and helping allies recognize coordinated foreign propaganda. It's just, then Trump suspended or scaled back parts of the government's effort to counter Russian covert action, including work coordinated through the National Security Council to respond to Russian cyber attacks, sabotage, and influence operations. election officials lost access to federal threat briefing, cyber assistant, and rapid coordination systems that have helped authorities respond to the 2024 election to Russian-generated fake videos. The Trump administration placed personnel that worked on that on leave, terminated programs, and redirected agencies away from any foreign governments that actually attacked American democracy. Yeah. So just to be clear, Trump is now invoking foreign election interference after dismantling much of the government's infrastructure designed to prevent it. And even after Dominion sued Fox News for saying that there was some sort of, they stole votes on behalf of Venezuela and so on, Trump still appointed some flunky to come up with evidence that Venezuela interfered in this election.
Well, and who's to say, I mean, now that we have Maduro in our custody, that they're not working out some kind of deal. I mean, this is like kind of what I'm going through in my head, and I think that you are too, is that, hey, Maduro, do you want to go? We'll let you go free if you promise to take at least partial credit for some sort of, foreign interference in our elections, proving or confirming that I actually won and Joe Biden did not. And like the thing about this, Julie, that is just, these people are so corrupt, and there are, authoritarians, and, they're following a playbook of like every strongman in the last 100 and so years, right? But there is also this like narcissistic aspect of this too, that Donald Trump cannot admit that he lost something, no matter what. And he will go to this length to make it not so.
Well, here's what scares me. Here's the part that I think is something that we should keep an eye on. There were two countries that meddled in the 2024 election, not 2016, but 24, right? One is Iran, and one is Russia. He has consistently allowed Russia to get away with everything. It was the Russia hoax.
Yeah, which he still talks about.
Which he still talks about, which like, the lady doth protest too much.
He always tells us what he's thinking about, always.
Yeah, exactly. But what I want to mention here is that, again, he's obsessed with, in addition to all of this, he's obsessed with Venezuela. And he's convinced. So after the 2020 election, just to put in perspective how absurd this Venezuela interference is, Trump's lawyers pushed the fantasy that technology associated with Dominion or Smartmatic, voting machine companies, had been created or controlled by Venezuelan interests and used to transfer votes from Trump to Biden, right? So we know that because Fox went on this tear about this, and then so did other right-wing media, and they got sued and they had to take it back. Trump was so obsessed with this that even after all that happened and Fox lost almost $1 billion going down the crazy fucking rabbit hole with him, sorry, Dad, Trump continued reviving this debunk theory over and over. So as soon as he got back to the White House, he enlisted an advisor named Kurt Olson to investigate whether Dominion machines contain malicious code controlled by Venezuela. A month-long examination produced no evidence of foreign manipulation, none. He didn't stop, though. Under Tulsi Gabbard, again, useful idiot or Russian asset, make the call. Her office, right, seized voting machines and election data in Puerto Rico for forensic analysis after Trump's allies raised allegations of Venezuelan interference, although she swore up and down that this had nothing to do with Venezuela.
Sure.
Right? Okay, again, the analysis ultimately produced no evidence of Venezuelan interference, but still, Olson later pushed to prohibit Dominion voting machines, which are now used in more than half the states, by asking the Commerce Department to designate their components as national security risks. And, the proposal grew out of discussions between Olson and other administration officials about how the federal government might wrest control of elections away from the states, which is an idea that Trump has repeatedly floated publicly.
Like federalizing the election.
Yeah. And Olson, his flunky, pushed for a nationwide system of hand-counted paper ballots, which is something that Trump has demanded consistently, even though election security experts warn that hand counts are generally less accurate and could be more vulnerable to error than the machine-based systems with audible paper trails that are now used across nearly the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm focusing on Venezuela and Iran specifically because what do Venezuela and Iran have in common?
Military activity.
He is going down the rabbit hole, continuing to double down on Iran, and his base is pissed off. Tucker's pissed off. Megyn Kelly's pissed off.
Yep.
You know, all of these MAGA American firsters are pissed off, and it bothers him because this is his base, and he's losing part of it over it. Not a lot, but I think he sees which way the wind is blowing, and it's blowing in their direction.
Pretty powerful voices on the right are kind of gaining traction.
So what's he going to do, friends? I don't know if it's going to happen on Thursday, but mark my words, it's going to happen. And I don't know why everybody's not talking about this, but we are here on May Day. He's going to justify continuing action in Iran to say that this is what we need to do to protect our democracy here at home because they meddle in elections and they need to be stopped, or else they're going to steal the elections for Democrats over and over, and so Republicans. MAGA, you may not like it, but get on board if you ever want to see another Republican president again. He's doing this for you, MAGA. That's what he's going to say. Right. Same with Venezuela. He's going to cut a deal with Maduro. If I were Maduro, take that deal. Are you kidding? And he's going to he's going to cut a deal with Maduro to say, hey, why don't you admit that you guys got some malicious software into Dominion and take that plea deal, and I will give you clemency, or I'm going to put you in some Club Fed situation like Ghislaine Maxwell. Go ahead and do that. Because think about this. The only other country that he invaded was Venezuela. What other country? 3 countries were the topic of foreign election interference in 2024. 2 did it, Iran and Russia. He's now invaded Iran. Russia, he's never going to touch because of whatever it's, useful idiot, foreign intelligence asset. You make the decision. But he's going to put Russia away. And Venezuela. He's been obsessed with Venezuela long before.
I'm sure there's more to this than I'm understanding, but it's so weird. And that's where I almost wondered, I was like, is Cuba in here somewhere? Is this how we're going to justify invading Cuba as well?
Nah, that's Marco Rubio's obsession.
Yeah. But the thing about Putin here, and obviously we know here, and especially, if you read Active Measures that Olga and Julie wrote, which is extensive, if you have the time to sit down and read through that, is proof that they meddled in the 2016 election. And we know that they have continued to meddle in our politics. One could argue that Russia / the Soviet Union did not lose the Cold War because they're very much winning if you look around and see the world or the country that we're living in right now. But Donald Trump was reported to have had a 90-minute phone call with Vladimir Putin a number of days ago. Why is Donald Trump sitting on the phone for 90 minutes talking to dictator Vladimir Putin?
Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, the same Vladimir Putin who has done all of those things, which I think Donald Trump is fully aware of, obviously, and I think is so. I think maybe that's also part of the obsession with the Russia is he doesn't want anyone to think that he won with help from somebody else. He's like, no, I won all on my own. But that is not the truth. The same Russia who is murdering, slaughtering, torturing, kidnapping Ukrainians, since the full-scale invasion. It's hard to not just feel disillusioned, especially as Russia was giving Iran intelligence as to where our military was, located over there, which they could use to be more precise with their strikes against our soldiers.
And in Afghanistan.
But Donald Trump is also becoming increasingly paranoid, sick. He is saying things like the Islamic Republic of Japan. He showed up yesterday during his press conference with his left hand, I believe, was bruised with makeup on it, with the geisha makeup. And he's very clearly not well. So there's 2 things that I think about too, Julie, is that the people who are behind Project 2025 and their vision for the country. These people are patient, they're methodical, they're very smart, they're well-funded and organized. However, a lot of the people who are executing these plans are incompetent fools. So, we have Kash Patel running the FBI. We have John Ratcliffe running the CIA. We have Donald Trump as president. We have very, very lazy man, JD Vance as vice president. I mean, the list goes on. Marco Rubio probably being the only one in any position of power that has the credibility or chops to be there. But I look forward to this speech on Thursday, and Julie and I'll discuss whether or not we want to cover this or not. But him saying, and I do want to point this out too, that the two senators from Georgia that he is saying are illegitimate are a Black man and a Jewish man. That is not by accident either. And I think about Martin Luther King Jr., I think about Leo Frank, and I think about what people have gone through in the South through this nation's history and how easy of a target they are to someone like Donald Trump, who sizes people up based on the color of their skin or what religion they practice or what race they are. Do you think, what do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, he's a notorious racist, and I think it's not a coincidence that he's going after Warnock and Ossoff, who they happen to be Black and Jewish. But to me, this is about him losing Georgia. He could not get over the fact that he lost a southern state that should have been Republican and had been Republican, and he, a Democrat, had not won Georgia in a while. And here he was losing Georgia. And he's obsessed with passing the Save America Act.
Right. So am I wrong here? Did I read this incorrectly? That he's trying to sneak it into another bill now?
Yeah.
Like is it something and related to the budget, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the bottom line is
Yeah. And just to remind our audience, so the SAVE Act is basically will disenfranchise up to 40 million American women who are married in this country, because you have to, match your birth certificate with your ID, which if you changed your name when you're married, sorry, shit out of luck. Not to mention anybody who could have been a refugee, someone like
I don't have a birth certificate.
Right. Someone like Julie, right, who doesn't have a birth certificate. People who emigrated here just don't have it because their parents lost it, or whatever the case, right? Whatever the case. All of those people would be disenfranchised because, again, if you spend any time on the right listening to what they talk about over there and what they have been talking about, and they're just getting louder about it, is, wow, Republicans would be controlling this country if it were not for women. Women are the ones in our way. And if we can disenfranchise them and take away the 19th Amendment, we'll be in power. So this is just like another step. It's the same with what he's doing with the post office and mail-in voting. He is throwing the whole kitchen sink at this and trying to, chip away at any momentum or any majority that the Democrats might have, especially going into November, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, he sees the polling the same way we do. He's deathly afraid that if Democrats get one or both houses, first of all, he doesn't care about his agenda stopping necessarily. He cares about investigations into grifting.
Trying to save his own ass.
And exposing the grift. And, he shouldn't be so worried because he's just going to ignore subpoenas from Congress, and they're not going to be able to, and he's going to tell everybody else to ignore subpoenas from Congress, and he's going to say, I'm going to pardon you if you get in. Well, first of all, Congress can't indict anybody, so it's his own Justice Department. But on the other hand, these people should be aware that congressional subpoenas can be, a new Justice Department in a few years can re-indict you. On the other hand, he can give them a blanket pardon for anything they did while he was president, and therefore it's okay. That's what the Supreme Court has wrought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they've given him absolute immunity, and they've given him the power because they knew the Constitution had it. He can't pardon himself, but he doesn't need to because he can do whatever the fuck he wants as president. No problem.
He'll try.
Yeah, but more relevantly, they knew that while they were doing this, that he also has pardon power, that he can pardon anybody else. So it's not that they're just giving him immunity. They're giving immunity to anybody who works for him, who's going to commit crime on his behalf. And, you know, you have people like Susan Collins, who I believe support the Save America Act, because she knows that if women come out and vote, she's going to lose.
It's, you know, I will never understand the save haters in their marginalized groups who think that if they somehow, you know, bend the knee to the white man in power, that somehow they will be saved in all of this mess, and they won't be.
She will be, in the sense
At
that
the
she's going to get another 6 years. Like, she gets it.
Yeah, but like, okay, I mean, and she's old, so you know,
She's
or
not running
older.
again. Yeah, she's not.
She's not going to run again. But like, what about every other woman? And this is the thing with a lot of people like Susan
They don't give a
Collins,
shit.
right? Yeah,
They
they
don't care.
climb up the ladder, they get to where they want, and then they pull up the ladder behind them.
Yeah.
And they're like nobody else. Listen, Donald Trump wants to be the last Republican president. He's not interested in anyone taking over after him. If it was up to him, and he still talks about it, because Donald Trump is not joking when he says he's going to run again, and he's going to try. Who knows if he'll be successful? But the reason, in the title of this this video that we're doing today, the show, I put that January 6th never ended, and it has been a slow moving coup, at least since January 6th. One could argue 2017. One could argue the first day that Ronald Reagan took office. But, you know, for this sake, in this conversation, we'll say, you know, maybe the first term, but certainly January 6th. I mean, Donald Trump incited a deadly insurrection against the United States Capitol in order to overturn a free and fair election. He got very, very, very close. And a lot of senators and members of the House of Representatives came within feet of possibly losing their lives. These are the same people who had a noose outside the building calling for the deaths of Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, and Mike Pence, the Vice President. And then, of course, the first day he's in power, he pardons all the people who were responsible for that. First, as, you know, a blanketed pardon because, oh, you're my people, but also he's sending a message to anyone who helps me do this again, you will be rewarded and you will not be punished for what it is that you're doing. And that is
exactly.
And for the rest of us, right, for the rest of the country, you look at that and you're like, well, what are rules? What are laws? Like, why do I even bother? When you see these people doing the worst things right in front of us, including ICE shooting people in the middle of the street and getting away with it, because the laws apparently don't apply to people like Donald Trump or the people who follow Donald Trump or you know, commit acts of violence in the name of Donald Trump. The laws don't apply to them. And so, you know, this is what they want, right? I mean, this is textbook again, is to beat down the population to the point that everyone becomes disillusioned and checks out.
Haiti, that's a good question. And there's kind of two ways from my perspective to answer it. Haiti's asking, I still don't understand why there isn't a counter coup. I can't wrap my head around why America has let this go on. Lots of finger pointing and hiding behind the Constitution. Well, first of all, hopefully the counter coup will happen in November when we get some Democrats elected. And hopefully they're going to be the kind of Democrats who are going to stand up.
God willing.
God willing. What I desperately want people to understand, though, is what kind of counter coup are you talking about? They control the military. They control every lever of government. You know, are we going to take up guns? Because that's a civil war. I mean, is that
that's plainly speaking? You're absolutely right.
Is that what we're getting to? I mean, are we ready to shed blood here? I don't know the answer to that.
I think it was Shannon Watts tweeted last night, pretty much the same thing. She's like, "Oh, so that's what we're intending to do here," because that's starting to be what that feels.
Yeah,
like, that's what this feels like.
You know, we have a Second Amendment here. Everybody's got guns. I mean, I don't, but
Yeah, me neither.
but I could go to the store right now in 2 seconds and get
Mhm.
one. I mean, I live in New York, but I could drive across to Pennsylvania and go into Dick's Sporting Goods and get myself a gun. Every
Yeah.
time I've gone to Pennsylvania and gotten my son some sneakers at a Dick's Sporting Goods store, there's a whole gun
Always
rack.
so jarring. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could just walk in there and go get myself some guns.
Yeah.
So my point is like, is that what I'm going to do now? Like, are we really at the point where we're having a civil war?
I've always envisioned, like, if God forbid, and I hope it never does, gets to a point like that, I think about what happened in Ireland for decades is the Troubles, right? You had two factions just kind of like going after each other in certain parts of the country for a very, very long time. And I pray to God nothing like that happens here, because
Yeah.
that will be the point of no return
I
for this
mean,
country.
I
In addition, you know what I
how
mean, to
many of us are going to
everything else.
stick around if that's where the country's headed, right? Like,
Yeah.
we've all got kids. I'm not having my
Oh,
kid
hell no.
live in a
Bye.
and then you wonder where you go.
Right, right.
I know one place I can go. Nobody wants to hear it, but I know one place where I, get automatic citizenship.
Mhm.
But I don't know where you go, Michelle. I guess to Ireland and ask for. I don't
No,
know.
they won't give it to me. I told you the closest I can do it actually is Canada,
Oh,
which I've been
Canada,
dragging my feet on,
right.
but,
Yeah.
that takes a while. You can't just go,
So I mean, that's you guys. But the fact that we're even talking about this,
is crazy.
like, I think about this all the time. A decade ago was early 2016 or mid
Mhm.
2016. We're in the throes of
Mhm.
this election. And everything was fine. I mean, we were having what we consider to be a normal election. I don't think anybody
Yeah.
really understood how much Russia was interfering.
Mhm.
But like, things you were like, yeah, you're gonna have an election. Somebody's gonna win. Somebody's gonna lose. Like Donald Trump's never
Yeah.
gonna win. Blah blah blah. And look how much has changed. Like
Just the way we talk about things
the way
has
we talk about
changed.
stuff. Like within a decade, we're talking about getting guns. Like, are you
I
kidding
know.
me?
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's
I know. And
crazy.
Haiti, I get it. You're watching the destruction of America in slow motion with your jaws on the floor. Imagine being us.
I know. I equate, and obviously I watch a lot of TV and watch a lot of movies. And through my head, I go through, okay, what are all these sort of post-apocalyptic or, dystopian films that I've watched that take place in England somewhere, and on the TV in the background, they're talking about civil war going on in the United States. Because like I can't even, like, it's always sort of depicted in these dystopian films that there is a civil war going on in the United States, and it's always sent a chill, through my body, and I'm like, well, thank God that's not happening here. But it's like now the closer we get to the stuff, it's, you know, I don't want to think it's plausible, but it certainly seems that for people like Donald Trump and the people around him, like, I'm like, is that what they want?
And by the way, Joe, like you said, Joe on Substack is saying the world is scared for you, but you need to act more like Europeans. Like what? Like have protests and shut
I
stuff
wish.
down. By the way, that would be fantastic.
That'd be great.
That would be fantastic. Except your president is not getting tanked out
Right.
to Tiananmen Square you. Like he's just not. Our
Right.
president will. Like I'm not saying. Listen, all of these are good ideas,
Mhm.
and I think we're at the point where at least we need to shut
Mhm.
things down. Like, I wanna
Mhm.
see what he actually says on Thursday, but if he
Yeah.
says any part of it, like I wrote today what I think is the worst case scenario for what he's gonna say. I'm
Mhm.
pretty confident he's gonna say it.
Mhm.
But let's wait and see what he does. And my attitude is on Friday, we just sit down. Like, you guys, you don't need to shop at Amazon. You
Yeah.
don't. You need to
That's
go
for
to the
real.
need to go to the grocery store, get whatever you need to get to eat. You don't need to buy that cute new summer dress that's on sale now because we're getting to the end of the summer.
Oh, don't say that.
You don't, right? Like
The summer part, not the dress part.
Yeah, the summer part. Like I'm wearing my little cute summer dress from 3 seasons ago, and it's
Yeah.
still good.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to do that. You don't need to
Mhm.
do that. And I think we just sit around and we're like, oh well, yeah, this all sucks, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's not, we're just gonna sit here and agonize about it, but we don't actually sacrifice anything for it. Like, where's the
Yeah.
sacrifice?
Yeah. No sacrifice of comfort or time or resources or whatever it is, because not everybody can. I mean, and that's a reality too, is like people are really hurting. in this economy that, again, has been created by Donald Trump after the remnants of a global pandemic. And but a lot of this pain that people are feeling is manufactured by Donald Trump and his policies. And I'm reminded as we're talking about this too. Do you remember Kevin Roberts was doing an interview? He's the former head, I guess now, of the Heritage Foundation. He said during the election, it's going to be a second American Revolution, which shall remain bloodless if the left allows it.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And by the way, for everybody who's like, you guys need to do this, for all of you living in Australia, hi Rosie, and people living in Canada and people living in Europe and so on, like you guys shop at Amazon too. You cut it out too in solidarity with us.
Yeah.
Seriously, please.
Yeah.
And again, I think we should come back to this conversation on Friday or late Thursday night after we see what he has to say. But this is it. Like, this is it, friends. Like what he's doing on Thursday, unless he chickens out. And of course, Trump does taco out always. But if he doesn't taco out on this.
Well, here's the funny thing.
Ozarm le citoyen, like not literally, but maybe.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing about this. So first they announced that he's going to do the speech. That's yesterday. Trump's going to speak at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, blah, blah, blah. What's this going to be about? It's going to be Iran, like blah, blah, blah. We don't know. Then reports and rumors start to come out that this is going to be about the topic we're talking about here, Georgia, the election, and the 2 senators that were elected in early 2021. And then there's another report, because apparently then the White House sees that this got out, according to reports. They walk it back. And they're like, no, that's not what this is about. But then the Georgia Republicans come out and say, well, we were tipped off and being told that this is what that was going to be about. So, the White House's immediate reaction, according to reports that we are reading, is to walk it back. I mean, who's to say now? This is a very leaky White House. It's a very leaky White House. As much as they claim it's not, and as much as they threaten everybody with lie detector tests and whatever else, there are still quite a large, portion of the administration who likes to talk to reporters. So,
By the way, John Ossoff is going to raise $1 billion off of the speech on Thursday, and I hope he does. I love that guy. He's like my dark horse.
Great. He's great.
He's my dark horse.
Yeah, he put out a statement about this, and I'm trying to find it. Do I have it here? But he basically comes out swinging, which he always does with Donald Trump, in the way that John Ossoff can. And I'm just going to say this. Can I say this? I'm just going to be really blunt here. Okay. It doesn't hurt that John Ossoff is very nice to look at. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that he can come out and do all this with his like very Kennedy-esque, sleeves rolled up, looking like that. I mean, hello. And it's a new generation, right? I mean, he's a millennial. He's in my age group. I love it. So I'm totally with you on that. My husband agrees with you too. Ossoff is his guy. I mean, between him and Mark Kelly is kind of where I'm at right now. But, but yeah, I mean, keep it up.
Yeah, because he's not going down the crazy cuckoo train like some people.
Yeah, because that's not how you win elections in purple states.
Not in Georgia, not in Arizona, maybe in Silicon Valley, where it's like 90% registered Democrats, but certainly not anywhere else.
Jay Sartori is saying Michelle has a crush. Listen, who doesn't? I know straight men who have a crush on John Ossoff. I'm not alone here. He's smart. He's good. Like, listen, guys.
Michelle, I never told you this.
What?
I've hung out with John Ossoff.
Have you? Whoa.
Well, sort of. He helped. He was wonderful in our legislation, and
that's nice.
But
he seems like a real mensch,
Great guy.
Yeah,
great guy.
Like, what you see is what you get, kind of thing. He's not like putting it on like
Agreed.
A lot of others do.
Agreed. Agreed. But he's a
little red for. Even Sarah Longwell at the Bulwark has a crush on Ossoff. And for anybody who doesn't know that, Sarah Longwell is gay. So
and we're not outing her. She's out.
She's openly married there. But it's just, it's listen, this is what There's something captivating about in a way that I don't know that we've seen with a politician of his stature in quite some time. So I'm pulling for him. I think he's great.
I'll tell you who my political crush is. Not in terms of like physical, but just who I think is a fantastic politician. And it's a crime and a shame that he lost his seat, but hopefully he'll get it back right now. Sherrod Brown.
Oh yeah.
We should look at Sherrod Brown. If Sherrod Brown believes all the stuff that Bernie believes without the bullshit.
Yeah. Without the bullshit.
Stronger unions, higher minimum wage, deeply pro-worker.
Yeah.
Without the wackadoodle, like, let's destroy everything in my path to get there, which is why Sherrod Brown is liked by his fellow people. And
he's a servant public. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he has lived a life of service. His wife is like such a great person. Also,
his wife is amazing.
She's wonderful. He's got great kids. I mean, like everything about Sherrod Brown just kind of screams like that's a guy you can get behind. And again, like
want to hear a great Sherrod Brown story?
Yeah, please. I would love to.
Okay.
I look whenever you laugh before you tell a story, I'm like, oh boy.
All right. This is another Julie Gump story.
All
right. Hopefully my darling former boss, who I adore, Frank Pallone, Congressman Pallone, does not kill me for telling the story. So back in the mid 90s, I was working for a congressman named Frank Pallone, D, New Jersey 6, who now is the ranking member of the Energy and Commerce Committee, was the former chairman, will be the chairman again if they get their majority back. But back then it was just like, not a senior member of Congress. This is like 1997, I want to say, 96, 97, maybe 98. And he was the chair of the India caucus because there were no Indian Americans in Congress at the time on the Democratic side. Actually, I don't think anywhere. So he and Sherrod Brown were co-chairs of the India caucus, and they were super close to the country of India. But they also constantly were rivals over who was going to be like king of like the Indian American community, like who's going to raise more money from them, who was going to be like better known, who was going to be whatever. And they were like frenemies before, like Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton were frenemies. Now, both of them, I guarantee, would deny this if
they're the OG frenemies.
They were the OG frenemies. Now, I guarantee you, if you ever asked either of them this, they would deny this, but that's because they're politicians. Like, I'm here to spill the dirt. So this is when Sherrod was still single. So we were at some Indian American, there was some event with like Indian, yes, Julie Gump, the Sherrod Brown edition.
I'm just going to keep this banner saved so I can just like edit it.
All right.
Anytime.
So we were at this is in DC, Pallone and I are at some event. And we are, and they're basically competing for like who's gonna like suck up to these like donors more.
Yeah.
And then I guess Pallone says, Pallone's like, I'm gonna go drive back. But I think my car was parked at the Capitol. Pallone had his car, so I was like, I'll drive your car. I'll drive you back. And Pallone's like, no, I'll drive. Why don't you get in the back seat? To me, thinking that Sherrod was going to get on the front seat. Sherrod did not get on the front seat. Sherrod got in the back seat with me, just to stick it to, just to.
Yeah. I'm going to sit up there.
And Sherrod Brown, who I want to say again, was single at the time. And I want to stress very seriously here, he was not, I don't think, really hitting on me. I think he was doing it just to piss off Pallone. But he says to me, so like, what's your story, Julie? Like, where are you from? What's give me the like 30-second version. I was like, I was born in the Soviet Union, and then I came here, and I was like basically give him like the very my 22 or 23 years that I've been on Earth, very quick version of that because there's not much.
So you were like young, like
this is like 90. This is 96, 97. Okay. I was 23, 24.
Okay.
And Sherrod Brown says to me in Russian, I majored in Russian at Yale, and starts speaking Russian to me. And I'm looking at Pallone, and he's driving the car, and I'm looking
As
at
your
the
chauffeur, he's
as
driving
my
the car.
chauffeur, and I'm looking at the rear view mirror, and he's like, what are they plotting? What are they talking about? What's going on?
Like, what are they saying about me?
And
And this is
meanwhile,
before
we're
Google
saying nothing.
Translate.
Like, Cher's like in Russian. He's like, how's my Russian? I'm like, oh, it's very good. Like, it was nothing, but Pallone has no clue what we're talking about, right? So we get out of the car. Cher gets out of the car, and he's like, okay, Frank, I'll see you later. He looks at me, he goes, give me a call sometime. We can continue this conversation. Not because he was hitting on me. I think just to
Yeah. He's like, let's keep talking shit.
Frank Pallone is like, what were you guys talking about? And I was like, I don't know, Frank stuff. Like, because I love Frank Pallone. Like, you could do that with him. He's such a good guy. If anybody here ever meets Frank Pallone, he is the best. Like, he's the definition of a good public servant. Love, 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 love him. And Frank goes, I think maybe you should go out with Cher. And I go, why would I go out with Cher? And he's like, you could find out what he's up to that way. I'm like, are you
Oh my God.
I'm like, Frank. And he's like kind of laughing, but he's kind of not.
Right.
And I'm like, Frank.
Like, go find some dirt.
Yeah, I go, Frank. I go, let's take this logical conclusion. For Cher Brown and I fall madly in love, and we get married. And I moved to Ohio. Now he's here in Washington 4 days a week. And I'm going to be stuck in like Cincinnati, wherever he's from, like by myself. Like, I don't know anybody in Ohio. Like, no, like I'm not interested in being like living in Ohio by myself.
Right.
And by the way, Ohio, lovely state, but I had not been there then. So I did not know what I was in for. And Frank's like, oh, Ohio's not so bad. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Like, excuse me, you're not going to like marry me off just to get dirt. It doesn't work like that.
And that is my Cher Brown story. Well played. Then Congressman, now Senator Brown. Very well played.
Fantastic.
Deeply grateful for your complete. Anyway, next time I talk to Frank Pallone, which is once in a while, I will ask him if he remembers that whole story, because I have never forgotten it. Not for any reason other than just how well played Cher Brown just burst into Russian just and Pallone like driving Miss Daisy. Pallone's like, what is going on?
Right. What a party trick to pull out too. You know what I mean?
What a party trick. I studied Russian at Yale. Okay. Like, great.
Okay.
I was like, really? Oh, okay. I wasn't like that at all, because I was like not even, but yeah.
This is like also like the most DC thing to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
hilarious.
weird shit like that happens all the time.
It was such a great story. Anyway, I am positive Cher Brown does not remember this at all. But I have to ask Frank Pallone, and Congressman Pallone, if he remembers this, because he might. But I've never forgotten it because it was so effing funny.
Yeah.
Good egg. Good egg. Story. Love him. Yes, this is pre-Connie. I want to be very clear. This is well before he met his incredibly impressive, brilliant,
amazing,
funny, smart, sweet wife who has everything to bring to the table that 23-year-old Julie Riginski should. So I just want to be very clear. This is before he met her. For all I know, he might have been dating somebody, because he was not hitting on me. I just want to be very clear. He was not hitting on me at all. He was doing this to kind of tweak Frank.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do.
He was using you.
He was
his nemesis.
He was exploiting. He wasn't using me, Michelle. He was, I believe, using his Russian. He was practicing his Russian. How about that? Somebody asked me here if people are surprised when they learn that I'm Russian. Yeah, they do, because obviously I don't have an accent, and they do. Yeah. But it's so funny because
I was surprised when I first learned that. I was like, oh,
you know who wasn't surprised? I just took my dog out, one of my 2 dogs out for a walk, Hagrid, and he's very barky when he goes out for a walk before he gets to the elevator.
Very barky dog. He just has a lot to say
because he's very excited to go out.
Yeah.
So this woman comes out of one of the apartments on my floor, who I'd never seen. I think she might have been like a housekeeper or a babysitter. I don't know who she was, but she doesn't live on this floor as far as I know. Mm-hmm. And she sees him and she goes crazy over him. And she starts speaking Russian to him. She's like, oh my God, you're such a good dog. Oh, what a good boy. Like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So I say in Russian back to her, he's not a good boy. He's very barky. And she doesn't even blink. She's like, okay. I'm like,
Right, because it's not like terribly common.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like I hear
It's
Spanish,
just-
I hear
No. Hagrid's not the one with 3 good legs. That was my little Grimace, Rosie. Grimace is no longer with us. Hagrid's got all 4 of his legs. That was my little Grimace.
Yeah.
Jay, can I turn that into a romance spy book?
I mean,
Who says it's not a spy book? Who says
right.
Oh, you mean my whole thing with Sherrod? I can't turn it into a romance spy book. Sherrod could certainly be a spy because all of a sudden he broke out in Russian and like he was speaking it all day long, and I'm like
alternate ending.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, you choose your own adventure. All right.
Mhm.
Yes, like if Helen Mirren breaks out in Russian, I know she speaks it. I've never heard her speak it, but she does speak it, and I think she's like Russian nobility. Helen Mirren. I think
You know who else does is Mila Kunis, right?
Mila Kunis is Ukrainian.
Oh, okay, because
But
I
she
heard
does
her in
speak.
like a presser.
No, she does speak Russian. She does. She
Okay.
does with a bit of a Ukrainian accent. But
Yeah.
Mila Kunis is from the good side of the former.
Yes.
I am from the Miss Banks. Maggie Mayhem threw up all night last night.
No, did she eat something?
She ate my bra. So she was throwing up bra straps all night long. Yes.
Really?
This dog.
And then I saw this dog yesterday, everyone. I stopped over to Julie's apartment because I had to use the bathroom. And I stopped in just to see the dogs too. And Maggie like runs over. Her ears are so big. They flop in her face. She's adorable. The 2 of them are adorable. The big dog and the little dog are like fighting for your attention. And like Hagrid's like shoving his butt into you, being like, no, me first, me first. But she is a little terror, like not in a bad way, but in a very puppy way.
It's very puppy-esque.
Yeah, but so cute, and she's a really good dog. So, but
I know.
Loves her a bra.
Loves my bra. You saw the 3 bras. Did you see there were like 3 bras?
No.
She has somehow stolen 3 or 4 bras and has completely destroyed them.
Oh, that's an expensive.
Bras are not cheap, friends. They're just not. And and so once my son, who's not even here, when he heard about this, is like, why are you letting her have your bras? That is just teaching her bad habits. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So I got rid of the bras. I threw them out. So now in retaliation, she's chewing on the molding in my apartment.
Oh, like the
corners. Yeah. The wainscoting. Yeah. But on the corner.
I think I told you yesterday, our golden retriever, when I was a kid, when we first got Barney, very good dog, the best dog. However, I remember coming home one time and he had literally pulled the baseboard off of the wall in the kitchen, and it was gone.
Oh, yeah. So as you can imagine, my husband, who's not bought into the idea of said dog, is like, it's not too late to return her. She's awfully cute. Oh, is that Oliver?
Yeah, he's very hungry and not happy. And he keeps trying to jump on the laptop. So I just thought I would grab him.
Okay.
Go away.
But anyway, so today Maggie, for people who ask how Maggie is, Maggie's been kind of chilling in her little bed and not happy. And just not happy at all because she had a tough night. And
nobody likes a pukey night. Nobody likes a pukey night.
No, and I was up with her because I heard her. And so I look at what she's throwing up, and it's like throw up, and then I see little black straps, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh no.
That's
not good.
That is a bra strap. Yes.
Yeah. It's very expensive thing to be chewing up. I mean, bras aren't cheap. They're like $100.
Bras are not cheap. They're what? Yeah. How much you spend on bras?
No, they can be like $100. I don't spend that, but I go to TJ Maxx.
I go to TJ Maxx and they're like $25 or $30.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, still, to buy them new from like a department store. Like
Yeah. I know. All right. So on that note, friends, here's the deal. I'm glad we ended this on a little bit of a later note. Thank you guys for letting me tell my Sherrod Brown story. I don't know where that came from, because the whole point I was trying to make is I think he's a great politician and I hope he wins.
Yeah.
Although I was speaking to our friend Cliff Schechter yesterday, who's from Ohio. Or he's from New York, but he lives in Ohio now, and he thinks that Sherrod's in really good shape. So
really,
that's
good to know.
I hope that's true. Yeah, I hope that's true. So hopefully he'll be back in the hills speaking Russian to some 23-year-old just to piss off somebody soon.
Yeah. Now, hopefully. And also just on a personal front, if people are, I mean, maybe like none of you are, but this always happens to me when I decide to take social media breaks. People think that there's something wrong. Everything's fine. I'm just taking a break from Instagram. I'm off Substack because that place is crazy and I have no interest. So, but I will always be here, and that's that. So
Yeah, Mayday will go on.
Mhm.
Substack has become completely toxic in
Ooh,
terms
bad.
of some of the people on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep staying on it because I don't,
Mhm. Well, you already had a thing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
try this out for a while. And I was like, you know what? There's been an overcorrection with the independent media situation. And it's like everyone in America now owns a TV station and a newspaper. And it's like a Christopher Guest movie, except everyone is sitting at their laptop. Like it's so out of control. Everyone is so too much.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting off Substack, guys. Please, I'm not going to do that. But I will.
Yeah,
say,
no.
I will
Julie.
say this complete insanity on Substack with what I call Blue Anon, and they get very upset, but they think
Mhm.
that we're lecturing them because somehow we're
They're
entitled.
not lecturing us.
Yeah,
It's,
like we're entitled rich white women. Like,
yeah. If you only knew.
if you only knew, friends. If you only knew, look it up. There's a reason
Yeah.
I speak Russian. It's not because I'm a fucking entitled rich white girl who learned it in school. Yeah, so it's awful, and I hope that people get a hold of themselves and realize that instead of turning on each other, maybe we should focus our attention outward to the Republicans.
Mhm. Yep.
And if you say something nice about a dead Republican because he did something nice for your something that you believe in, it doesn't mean that you have to crucify somebody. It just means that.
Listen, Justice Kagan this morning in her opening statement, like, said something about Lindsey Graham, and she was like, I understand I didn't agree with the guy a lot. I think we can all say here, especially in the Trump years, that man went down to the bad place, the really, really bad place. However, Lindsey Graham was someone who was an operator in the Senate in the kind of way that Joe Biden was, like, maybe not, certainly not in an ideological way, but like to pass bills, like to pass laws, like to do that kind of
Pete
work.
Buttigieg said that they would not have passed the infrastructure bill had it not been for Lindsey Graham.
Well, there you have it.
I mean, I want to be very clear here. Lindsey Graham was on balance a horrible person.
Yeah, a real piece of shit.
But yeah, and Lindsey Graham on balance sold his soul. However, there are certain things that Lindsey Graham did, not on balance, but there are certain things that he did where it's okay to acknowledge them.
Yeah, we're not going.
And let me give you a little preview.
Yeah,
because it's going to happen. Mitch McConnell is the worst thing that ever happened to American politics. No Mitch, no Trump. No Mitch, no stolen Supreme Court. No Mitch, no ban on Roe. Trump started breaking precedent because Mitch McConnell showed him the way.
Yep.
I'm going to compliment Mitch McConnell when he dies on one thing and one thing only. Two things, actually. One, Mitch McConnell was by far the best leader that we've had in that generation because he was so goddamn effective that I only wish he were on our side, because as a minority leader, he was able to stop Democratic priorities when Chuck Schumer can't seem to do jack shit.
Yeah.
So, to be very clear, I don't want to.
No one's like
nobody's saying that Lindsey Graham was a good guy. We're simply saying that he did some good things in his life.
Yeah.
And the other thing that Mitch McConnell did, for which I will compliment him when he dies, or I'll actually compliment him for it now, is he has stood up to Trump on Ukraine.
Yeah, that's literally the one thing. That's it. He and Lindsey Graham are like the last ones. That's it.
That's it. And now that they're dead,
well,
or effectively so,
yeah,
Ukraine is screwed. And if you care about what's happening in Gaza, friends, because you're worried about what's happening to the civilian population there, you should be really scared and upset about what's happening in Ukraine.
Listen, I saw people in this country on the left attacking Zelensky, because Zelensky, again, put out a statement thanking him for his support for his country, for his people who are being slaughtered, raped, tortured. And how dare he? I mean, and that's the thing is like, and I'm not going to get all into this, but like, it's one or the other. It's like, you're celebrating him. No, I'm not. No one is. No one is saying that. We can't have nuance. There is no like, it's one thing or the other, and everyone feels real good about themselves, yelling at other people about it.
The
And
fucking,
I've had
the
it.
fucking self-righteously and Substack is
I can't take it. And
like,
I
you
was
know what,
"Get me
guys?
out of here."
Here's the beauty of Substack. You could write a 20,000 word column if you want. There's no limit. So if you
Mhm.
want to be nuanced, you can go ahead and be nuanced. Nobody's going to stop you. It's not fucking Twitter where you have to say it in like 3 sentences.
Right.
So
Which, funny enough, after I deleted my Substack account, I went over to Twitter, which rich if I go over to Twitter to feel better. And was, inundated with a bunch of stuff that was not like that. I mean, it's all happening on Substack and nowhere else. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, how they say Twitter is not real life, Substack
Yeah.
is not real life
Yeah.
either. And there's
it's
all
really
kinds
bad.
of things happening there that like literally no one else has any idea. No clue.
It's
And
really bad.
I reopened a Substack anonymously, just as an aside. And by the way, none of you will ever find me, including you, Julie. No one will ever find me. And I just like,
I'll find you. I'll find you.
oh, no,
Michelle.
you won't. No,
I'm
you
like
won't.
I'm like Liam Neeson. I'm like, take it. I will find you.
I just did like baking and interior design and like renter friendly hacks and things like that. And let me tell y'all, when I open Substack now, it's like I walked into a Nancy Meyers movie. It's fantastic. I love it. I didn't know that life could be so good on Al Gore's internet. I really didn't know until then. And I just invite everyone to not check out from what's going on in the world, but there's nothing wrong with stepping out of toxic situations and places and finding better ones and creating better ones for yourself. So, renter friendly hacks is what I'll be doing, changing the hardware everywhere all the time.
All right.
Sorry, quick question. What will happen with subscriptions? Absolutely nothing, because Mayday is still
Mayday's still there. That's just Michelle.
It's just me, Michelle Kinney, me.
No.
I'm not there.
Mayday's still there. Julie's still there. I'm not going anywhere. Mayday's not going anywhere. We're still going to do an AMA this week. So I want people, for Mayday subscribers, paid subscribers to Mayday. So if you have a few bucks and you want to hear our AMA, our weekly AMA, please go over to the Mayday Network on Substack and subscribe.
Yep.
And it's not that so I guess I can't say it's not that expensive. It is, if you can afford to do it. We would really appreciate
in the
it.
eye of the beholder.
Yeah, eye of the beholder. We really appreciate it.
Mhm.
And that's it. And Mayday will always be on YouTube, and will always be in Substack.
No. I just wanted to say I don't have a presence on Substack anymore. Personally, me, Michelle, only through Mayday, and my Instagram is like shut down right now because I can't deal with that either. So I'm literally, if you want me, I'm on Mayday and nowhere else. That's my whole point. I'm not leaving at all, and that's kind of even more the point. So yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to address it. So
yeah. Some breaking news.
Oh, Jesus.
Senior advisor to Melania Trump, Mark Beckman, and I quote, "I believe that our First Lady, the current First Lady Melania Trump, is the single most consequential First Lady in the history of our nation. It is fair to argue she's had more impact on the peace process between Ukraine and Russia."
What? Stop it. It's only Tuesday. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it.
I gotta give that guy credit. Because I spent 10 years at Fox News listening to people with a totally straight face. I have learned how to have the best poker face in the world when I need to. I don't think I could do that. I tip my hat to you, sir. I tip my hat to you, because you don't believe that for a second. And you said that with a straight face.
Veep was a documentary. Veep was a documentary. And I is the most consequential First Lady ever in existing to Donald.
My suitcase.
My suitcase.
Do you have that clip, Michelle? Now you got to play that
I
clip.
don't. I need to load it in and just have
You got
it
to
ready.
load it in and just keep it loaded in.
I had like the Quiet Piggy loaded in for a long time. Then I took it out.
No.
But
We need to have the my
Yeah.
suitcase.
You
My
like
son
suitcase?
is so annoyed with me because literally in the middle of nothing, apropos of nothing, I'll be like, my suitcase. He's like, please stop. I'm like, I start like cracking up. I'm like, ha ha. He's like, just stop. I'm like, my suitcase.
My suitcase. Oh my God.
I know, Kev, because if you're talking about Melania Trump, what more is there to say but make fun of now adult Barons? We could do that. My suitcase.
My suitcase.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's too much. It's too much. I don't really care. Do you? Who gives up about the kids and the Christmas?
My suitcase.
Well, my mom's now telling me I still freeze once in a while. Sorry, everybody. I literally am paying more now to my cable company so that I have better internet and it's not doing anything. And I have a very nice computer. So don't know why. I think it's StreamYard. So
You're like
StreamYard
Mitch
sucks.
McConnell. You just freeze out of nowhere. I forgot about that, Rosie. Wait. Fucking Christmas.
Christmas.
But no, remember when she was like fucking Christmas when she was
Oh, I
cursing?
remember. Yeah.
Fucking Christmas.
We made like content about that over at LP. I mean, it was endless. Endless laughs. Endless laughs. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Friends, it was so good to see all of you. And we will see you all really soon.
Yep.
What's today, Tuesday? I've like lost track of time.
This is what I said when you told me the stupid thing. I'm like, it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's only Tuesday.
Well, we'll see you guys. I just want to say Pax Americana is not happening this Thursday because I have some stuff I have to do. So I have to be away from my computer. But we are back with Jeff on Friday, which we haven't had in a couple weeks. And Michelle and I are going to probably be back maybe tomorrow for AMA on May Day.
Yeah.
So
trying to do some
yeah.
more, especially now that I'm back. So
yeah, for paid subscribers, because Michelle was away, but now we're back. Now we're back from outer space. All right. Bye, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.